Hey, going live, going live, going live. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys some greatness, some Dragon Age Origins Quest Part 5. Part 5. And we're going to the circle. We're going to the circle of Magi once we figure out everything else that we're going to be doing. So definitely tell me, guys, if the game audio is too much, too low, too much, what have you, all that fun jazz. So, yeah, there we go. So, there we go. And still talking to Morgan here.
Yes?
Yes?
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
Do you object?
Not unless you stop.
Well, we're starting this one off hot. Alright. Morgan approves. There we go. Getting some.
Yes? We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Discuss away.
Okay.
Yes? If you must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions. Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
Fun? You found it fun? You really had no trouble with them.
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed, and then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait, a little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Wow. Yeah, Flemeth used you as bait?
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Fair enough. What exactly is an apostate?
You do not know. The zealots use that word for any magic they do not control. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the circle of magi as apostates, and apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Fair point, in fact. Caden's in here and says, Sup, Caden. Caden said, y'all are so bold doing it out in the open where everyone can see y'all. I'll kiss my wife right now on camera. I don't give a fuck. But she won't come down here, so I mean, I could probably make her come down here, but she'd be like, why? What are you doing? Why am I doing this? You know, it's more of a hassle than it's worth. Kane said, do you think Kobe was able to capture Boa? Kobe was able to capture Boa? No. I don't think he did because Boa has all 3 types of... Yeah, hockey, no. No, Boa's still out there. If I were a mage, I might think the same.
Thank you for small favors, then, at the very least. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand. Yes? If you must. Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
Powerful Nefika.
You mean, is she truly the Flemeth of legend and story? Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I'm more interested in the truth.
I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
Sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Not true then.
No, quite true, but this part only. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed. The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement.
Oh, well, Flemeth... Okay, if Flemeth agreed, then it's okay.
End of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
This is actually accurate to from what we believe truly happened, and I'm still, like, I'm against, as he said, he sold his wife to another man, but it's like, but if the wife agrees, then it's like, well, whatever, the rules change. Kane said, there's a fan theory going around saying that Boa is going to join the Cross Guild. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think that's likely because she's going to join any force to be Luffy's Grand Fleet. I agree with that. Kane said, people just train the wives for favors. Spelled wrong. Couldn't be me. I mean, if the wife agrees to it and the husband agrees to it, if all parties, it's sort of like having a foursome, or a threesome, and you're married. It's like, well, if you invite someone else into your marriage and everybody is in agreement, I'm not saying things won't go sour. Most of the time they do go sour. But I'm saying if you go down that road, as long as all the parties involved are aware, then, consenting adults. Spirits or demons?
Spirits first, and 'twas they who slew Conabar. Flemeth did not turn to the demon until much later. Lord Conabar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legend
This is actually not
of
true.
the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Which she never raided her, never defeated her.
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero.
I can believe that.
He attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has coloured her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
I'm with Morrigan. Like, she's skeptical about the details, but she's like, I believe Flemeth's version of events above what the Chantry or anybody else will tell us. How is that Flemeth has survived so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps, some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
Many daughters?
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too. The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Usually it's in horse? Wait.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
Mother died recently, in fact.
Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which
Well,
is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.
Ooh. Party for one of your party members has begun to genuinely like you and respect your leadership. As you improve your relationship with party members, head back to camp to speak with them. They'll be much more willing to open up and they don't have to worry about death around every corner, and you'll talk to them more if you want to continue to improve the relationship. You attract party members' approval. Yada yada yada.
Yes? If you must. Yes? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Discuss away.
Can I sleep with her already, or what's the deal? Where's Morgan? Alright, let's give you the...
A fine gift. You have my thanks. A fine gift. You have my thanks. A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Alright, so we got a lot of...
Yes? We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Ah, such a romantic, I see.
Let's make out. Let's go. Kane said history is written by the victors and the misinformed historians. That's true.
Yes? So, full of questions, are you?
Tell me you're really famous daughter. Let's go.
I assume you were actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me. Truly, I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. It is not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child.
I mean, fair point. Gaines said every history book has biased for whatever country. History is written by the victors, as they say. Japan doesn't talk much about World War II. The U.S. skips over a lot of slavery issues, and Germany skips over World War II entirely. Exactly. Have you ever seen Family Guy? There was 1938 and then 1946. I think you missed some years. Nope. We were all asleep. Nothing happened. You know? Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I remember her being younger once. She had black hair, much like my own, long and lustrous. But how could that be if she is centuries old? Has she become wizened only recently? Or are the tales of her legend only that, and nothing more? I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another. And Flemeth has always treated me as her blood.
You love her?
What an odd thing to say. Why must love enter into the equation? Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn. How to survive, the meaning of power.
I love Morgan, and you are going to love me, bitch.
I believe them the lesser.
Kane said, is her mother immortal or just a very strong witch succubus? No, she's a god. She's stupid. She's dummy. She's... yeah. Think Zeno. Think the truth.
Room for coddling and weakness? Why should such things be desirable? Take yourself. You do not honestly desire such things from me, do you? 'Tis better to be free of such cloying and cluttering delusions as love. Then more the fool you, I think. I tire of this discussion. Let us move on, shall we?
Oh, Morgan disapproves. Interesting. By 5, but I think we can fix that a little bit with some gifts.
I am grateful. 'Tis thoughtful indeed.
Okay, apparently that's all it took, because...
'Tis cold in my tent, all alone. So you shall come to my tent? But whatever shall we do in that tiny little space together while we wait for it to warm? Good. Then let us waste no more time with foolish talk.
Oh, this... she knew how to fuck. She did it all with her clothes on.
I see the stories they tell of Grey Warden endurance are not exaggerated. Indeed there are. The unanswered question, of course, is whether the endurance exists because of the taint within you, or because the Grey Wardens are by nature so very healthy. I enjoy the thought that 'tis a little of both. Natural prowess, driven by a darker side.
Jesus. Kane said if she's that strong, why would anybody mess with her? That's just asking for death or worse. Nobody messes with her. She keeps to herself, hence the point. She's kept to herself for 3 games now, and no one's fucked with her because they know better. Kane said doesn't that make her daughter a demigod? No, but her grandchild is. Kane said she wants you to warm her bed. Sounds like a fun time to me, and that's why I went and did it. I did it, and I'm gonna do it again. Trust me. Kane said, so the tent doesn't seem all that small to me. Kane said, so sad, he was just a Minuteman. No, that wasn't a Minuteman. That was some good shit. So what now?
That is entirely up to you. Simply know that I have no designs on your independence. I wish only to do what I desire, and if that coincides with what you desire, then so be it. And should you decide not to continue our misadventure, then so be it. Very simple, is it not?
See, she says that, but she's full of shit. Because if you start a relationship with anybody else, she gets peeved as fuck. And I mean, like, start a relationship with Liliana. Trust me. She is a jealous fucking whore. She is ready to beat your ass. So, what about love?
Oh, now you ruin the mood by speaking profanities. Silly man. Come then, let us be off before the others begin to stare.
This fruit's +5, but you're still...
I have something for you. 'Tis a ring. Now, before you get any foolish notions, let me explain. Flemeth once gave me the ring because it allowed her to find me no matter where I went, in case I was ever captured by hunters. I disabled its power as soon as we left the wilds. Recently, however, I thought to change it. Now, I will be able to find whoever wears it instead.
So you would always know where I am?
It is not to track you, you understand. I believe you are too important to risk. If you were to get captured...
See what I'm talking about?
It would be easier to find you with this. Flemeth used to say that 'twas a link between us, one that I presumed worked both ways. I never tested it, but I doubt she would have lied over such a thing, so it would mean I am linked to you as much as you to I. I do not know. As I said, I never tested it. Perhaps. Now you are mocking me. Do you wish the ring or not? I am tempted to simply keep it. I have no desire to see us part company so soon. Not unless we wish to, that is. Do not read more into it than is there.
I love making her squirm. It's so good.
This is not so very different, is it?
Thank you for the gift.
You are welcome. Perhaps it will be useful someday.
And I give 0 shits, guys. I'm wearing that ring. Like, this ring, the Dalish Promise ring. It's incredible. It's probably better than anything we're gonna have. Morgan's ring. We're wearing that like a wedding ring the entire time. It's Morgan's ring. We wear the ring. I'm sorry, guys. You wear the ring. I argued on Reddit like too many times about people saying like, will the warden come back? I'm like, yeah, if we can all agree that it was a human noble who romanced Morrigan and then we had the old god baby, then yeah, we can all get on the same page. And people hated me for it. And I'm sitting back like, no. Follow me on this. If we go through this line of reasoning, we can have our old god baby. We can have our Morgan. We can have our Karen. We can have so much more. Like, people like to think, oh no, it's your own headcanon. No. No, it's not. Because your real headcanon is the bullshit that happened outside of anything else. Alistair becoming king is not headcanon. The witch hunt and the fact that by the 3rd game we're still working with the old god storyline means witch hunt happened. The dark ritual is canon. Stop kidding yourselves that the dark ritual didn't happen. Dark ritual happened. It's canon. Go fuck yourself. And it's probably the warden that did it. You know what I mean? Again said, so you gonna do that, start a different relationship? No. Morrigan, top tier. Why would I cheat on her? Fuck that. Kane said, the way she's talking sounds like she's the stalker possessive type. She's odd, she's weird, but she's never been in a relationship. I gotta teach her. That's the thing. Kane said, I don't think she fully understands her emotions, and she doesn't. You're right, Caden. She doesn't. and how she feels towards the main character. She does not. She seems like she's trying to be a strong, independent woman, but also wants someone to rely on. Exactly. She wants to be, basically, here's the deal. She wants to be the housewife and be the feminist at the same time. And she doesn't know how to deal with doing both.
So, full of questions, are you? We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Perhaps. Shall I consult my capricious nature and divine an answer for you? I am to be indulged. How exciting. Let me think. Very well. It shall be as you wish, voracious as your appetite may be.
So, I get to fuck her twice. Alright, let's go. Alrighty. Yeah, Morgan loves us 100%. Why wouldn't she? I'm awesome. Have you ever met me? I'm me. I'm a big deal. So let's go. Okay, so now we go to... There's Stan, there's Alistair. Alright, let's talk to Liliana for a minute.
Yes?
Let's talk.
Well, here I am. I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense.
Kane said, "This just hit me. Usopp is like his dad. He left the sea, living the love of his life behind, and will return later in his life and leave her again when the sea calls to him."
And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light,
Not gonna say you're wrong.
I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
What then?
When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith. In my dream, I fell, or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the black devours?
I mean, you can't, but still.
He's still here. I hear him in the wind and the waves. I feel him in the sunlight that warms my skin. I know what the Chantry says about the Maker, and what should I believe? What I feel in my heart, or what others tell me?
Well then, but your whole thing is believing in the Chantry. But, like, she's a hypocrite right off the gate. Like, for example, for me, if, let's say that the Christian God, the Bible, it's all true, right? Let's just say for a moment, for hyperbole. And I don't believe in God, but I go up and then I get judged or whatever. In her mind, she's going, yeah, so I believe in God, but I know what the Chantry says. The church told me one thing. I still don't believe what, like, she is literally the biggest, like, she's basically saying, oh yeah, God's real, the Bible's wrong, but God's real. That's what she's saying. And that takes a lot of balls, so let's go. She's
They say
wrong.
my ideas
Yeah.
are blasphemy. But is it so bad if what I believe gives me comfort? If it could give someone else comfort? I know
That,
what I know, and no one will ever make that untrue.
I mean, there you go. So she answered the question I was asking.
Well, here I am. Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Understanding yourself.
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools. What can I say to them? What they believe is what the chantry says, and the chantry is infallible, yes? Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the chantry. But there is work.
Oh, she's an intelligent religious person. Wait a minute. She's an intelligent religious person.
Yes?
That's insane.
Well, here I am. What is meant by someone like me? And there were no beautiful, charming women in the cloisters, you think? You would be wrong. There were many lovely young initiates in the Lothering cloister, all of them chaste and virtuous. It added to their mystique, because then they were forbidden, and forbidden fruit is the sweeter, no? Flatterer. I, however, did not take vows, and so perhaps I am not as enigmatic. The chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Affirmed?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken. I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on. Yes? Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind? My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
I do, Mother.
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
That is very sad. Kane said, okay, this is how strong Ryuma is. Take Torko and Zebra ability to eat and times that by 10 trillion. Whoever eats all of these... Alright, look, my guy. Until I read how to eat a slime or whatever the fuck, how to devour a slime, how to fuck a slime that I read, I'm not gonna know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're power scaling things that I'm not aware of, so I have no reference point. You can say A is right, and I can say B is wrong, but until, you know what I mean? Which, by the way, we need to pause anyways, because we're gonna go take a break. What's up, guys? Sorry to say, had to get a little snack. Might have to get a little more, to be honest with you. I hosted a barbecue today. Like, it was a small barbecue. I'm talking like 8-9 people. It was a small barbecue. But, it wouldn't have topped double digits. Maybe 10 people at most. But, still, you gotta provide chairs, clean bathroom, food, all the bullshit, right? So, yeah. I really think I need to eat a little more, but we'll do that on the next break. On the next break, we'll do that. And I mean, I'm not regretting that because it was a fantastic, I get a beehive living under a portion of my deck. Didn't seem to matter whatsoever. I tried everything to get rid of them in the humane way, you know what I mean? And I tried my best to do that, and they were still killing my ass and stuff like that. And then we had a great barbecue today. Nobody was worried about the bees. No problem. And I was like, God damn. So it all worked out. So yeah, Kane said she's basically a rebellion to the church. Basically, she said they're teaching the way they go about stuff is wrong and the God that they pray to does exist. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Liliana Caden? Yeah. Yeah, that sums her up pretty good. Justice is in here and says, sup, I'm here after watching a video about Spider-Man No Way Home. What y'all been up to? Not much, just playing some Dragon Age. Caden said, fun fact about Ryuma. He comes from our world and has knowledge of the manga we know of, so he comes from the Dragon Ball manga to the world. He's known and knows how to do the Kamehameha. Well, that's pretty fucking cool. Not gonna lie. That's pretty fucking cool. Let's see. Kane said, nothing was Spider-Man No Way Home a good movie? Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm waiting to see it. Just said, so we're just talking about Rimura? Huh, okay. Kane said, no, I was just giving him fun facts about him, but he doesn't know the character. Yeah, I have no preference. Kane said, she's most likely going to become head of the church and change its tenets to match the viewpoints. Dragon Age 3 spoilers there a little bit. Kane said, very important question. Do you pour the milk before the cereal, or do you pour the cereal before the milk? One of these ways is an abomination, the other one is the correct way. Which one are you? You put the cereal in the bowl and then pour the milk after you've already poured the cereal. That's the right way to do it. You do not pour milk and then add cereal to it. That's just stupid. Just said, a barbecue. Never really been to much. You've never been to a barbecue? Barbecues are amazing. All of them are fine. Just didn't know the people there, so I said, yeah. I mean, that's also awkward. Like, if you're at a barbecue and the food's not amazing, let's say the food's average. Let's say 6, 7 out of 10, right? The food's good, and you're like, oh yeah, food's good, but you don't know anybody there. It's always going to be awkward. And if you're not sociable like I am, then yeah, I get it. You know. So just said, if the humane way doesn't work, the flamethrower should work. I mean, yeah. Kane said, the smoke probably just knocked out the bees. I doubt they'd die. Yeah, I poured vinegar down that bitch. I used Raid on that bitch. Those bees do not want to die. How beekeepers get the honey from the bees, they knock them out with smoke. I mean, I did have some smoked chips on the grill So that probably kept them away for a while, so maybe. Just said, and by the way, flamethrower are the coolest fucking things humans made. Yeah, probably. I mean, the coolest thing that humans made? Probably the Game Boy. Justice said Spider-Man No Way Home was good, solid 8 out of 10. I can't wait to see it. Kane said you choose the right way, Griever. I have argued with some of my friends about this topic, and I still don't understand why they put the milk before the cereal. It makes no sense to me. Yeah, no, that's dumb. That's stupid. Don't do that. That's wrong. That's wrong. If I need to go get a chef license just to tell you guys that I'm right, I will probably go do that. You know, it's Canada. It's not going to cost me very much. It's going to take time and effort, but I can go get a chef's license in 2 years and then come back and say that I was right the first time. So, you know. Kane said if you pour the milk first and then the cereal, you're just going to make a mess. And they say that pouring the milk first keeps the crunch of the cereal. Listen, I'm somebody who hates soggy cereal. So when I pour my milk over my cereal, I lap that shit up. You eat it right away. It's sort of like serving eggs. Eggs get cold in 35 seconds. From hot pan to plate, they're already cold. Eat that bitch. Eat it up. I can't stand when my wife fucking takes her time to get to the table and then she doesn't eat the eggs. And I'm like, the eggs are already cold. Eggs are already cold. All my hard work gone. I'm irritated. I'm already irritated watching her after I cook her a beautiful breakfast and she doesn't eat the eggs right away. I'm already mad because the egg is already cold, right? Because eggs go cold in 35 fucking seconds. Eat them. Eat the bitch. You know? So it's the same deal with the milk and the crunchy and the bullshit with the cereal. Pour the milk and eat it. Eat it right away. Don't wait. If you wait, of course it's going to get soggy. But it'll get soggy either way. So, your friends are wrong. Kane said, what type of barbecue did you make? Did you cook any steak brisket, ribs, sausage, lamb? We did 2 types of sausages and we did ribs. We did a whole racket of ribs. We did 4 racks of ribs. And they were amazing. They were really good. That's what we did. We did them in Dr. Pepper as you do. And then we cooked them on the propane and it was pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good. An overnight rub, of course. Did an overnight rub and it was beautiful. Worked out great. Kane said, Griever, please tell me you don't put raisins in your potato salad. Raisins? I've never heard that before in my life. Some of my white friends do that and it makes no sense to me. Please tell me you're not one of those people that do that. Raisins don't go in potato salad. That's stupid. Raisins don't go in potato salad. Egg and onion go in potato salad. Raisins do not go in potato salad. Your white friends are dumbasses. Alright, let's go.
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dry flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andrastis grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on. Yes? Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind? I miss Val Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the life
The
of
French.
Val Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always floating above that all, the chant. coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent. Oh, it would take me a day or two to talk about the many splendors of Orlais, her golden fields, her lush meadows. Of course, there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais. Dresses, fine dresses and furs, and shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes, living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
Jesus. What's special about the shoes?
Well, they're shoes. They're pretty. Some of them anyway. When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
You lost me.
Never mind. I just have a weakness for pretty shoes. It is so frivolous of me, I know. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we? Yes? Something you need?
Kane said, some people like cold eggs. Some people are dumb. Kane said, if you go online and type raisins and potato salad, it'll pop up as the whitest thing in the South. Yeah, but the Southerners also voted for Trump, guns, and 10-gallon hats. They're stupid from the word go. They don't even know how to spell go, so fuck the South. You know what I'm saying?
Yes? What's on your mind? Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think. Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn. In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin. And it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no harm. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
This was from Orlais.
Of course, Orlesians enjoy telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of Orlais.
Aveline. Go ahead.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer.
You mean Dragon
He
Age
hoped for a
2?
son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot. Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney. But Aveline kept her helmet on, and was not discovered.
Oh, classic.
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Griever in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Griever was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Caleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Caleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Caleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Fuck off. Jesus. That's terrible.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Now we have Aveline in Dragon Age 2. I like it. I like the connection. Kane said Big Mom's strongest female character in One Piece, yeah? So who do you think is the second strongest female? I believe it's either Boa or Yamato. Probably Boa. Yeah. How about the Ferelden religions?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth? Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend? Flemeth, the devourer of men? Flemeth, mother of witches? Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists? Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you. Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conobar, and he took her for his wife. Conobar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conobar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
Yeah, that's not what I heard. Kane said, if Big Mom is still alive, she would most likely do you think she's going to go after Kid and lost separately, or do you think she's not going to bother going to revenge? I think she's going to go revenge on Luffy. If she's alive. Kane said, the reason why I say Big Mom is still alive is because the whole cake still has homies on the island. If she would have died, all the homies would have been gone. Yeah, Kaido and Big Mom are still alive. Like, people who believe they're actually, like, legitimately died, I don't know what to tell you. They're coming back. They're coming back. Anyways, we will be right back, by the way.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conobar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conobar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conobar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conobar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conobar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conobar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conobar and all his men. The last of Flemish humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many chastened men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Okay, alright. Yeah, so things happened. I don't have any explanation for any of the last 5 minutes. Beer spillage, taking a leak spillage, lots of stuff spillage. Anyway, so Kane said, sounds like a religion is just making stuff up so the following would have a common enemy to fight against. Sounds like every religion ever. Kane said Sakura will kill Big Mom, but Sakura would die to Captain Unohana. No, Sakura would not beat Big Mom. Are you crazy? And if I'm not mistaken, isn't Captain Unohana almost the same as Captain Yamamoto? Yeah, they are. And the fact that you think that Sakura would be Big Mom is laughable.
Which one? I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed. but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in a land of their own. The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no chantry. This angered the chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The chantry
it's
declared
probably
a
the
holy
chantry.
exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved.
It
Some
said,
of the
I don't
elves
think
bitterly accepted their
Big
fate
Mom would
and
overcome
surrendered to
Sakura
human
healing
will,
factor.
living in the
Big Mom
human
couldn't
cities
use
as
life and death on
second-class
Sakura
citizens,
because she
but
wouldn't be
others,
afraid of Big Mom.
still fiercely
Why
proud
wouldn't
of
she
their
be?
heritage, refused to
Sakura
fight for
wouldn't be
the
afraid of Big
and
Mom.
instead became homeless
That makes no
wanderers.
sense.
There were the elves of the
Also,
Dales,
Big
the
Mom's
Danes.
Conqueror Saki. Like, it said, in terms of raw strength, they're relative the same. If I'd give a slight edge to someone, I would give it to Sakura by a very small margin. Are you kidding me? Did we read the right thing?
Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world
This
to become his divine bride.
Was actually
Andraste had
taken from
neglected her,
Tolkien's
and
idea of
lost
Luthien.
him.
How
Instead,
Edu or
she beseeched the
Ivatar
Maker to return
took
to
on
his
to
people
Luthien
once more. So
and
earnest
said,
was her plea
"Fuck
that
yeah.
the Maker was moved.
We gotta
He
bring this
promised
bitch
that
up."
He would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which
This
to
is
smite
not
her
accurate,
enemies.
but still.
Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker. Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste. Her earthly husband, Mafarath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Mafarath began to see their own bond waning.
Well,
in
we
secret
read this differently.
as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Mafarath made a pact with the Archon Hysarian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter. The Tevinter Chantry claims that in Andraste's last moments, Hysarian's heart softened, and he heard the voice of the Maker telling him to end her suffering. He plunged his sword into her heart, and as her blood washed over his hands, he became one of the faithful. Dissenters say
Wasn't
that
that
the Archon only
Harvard?
converted because he could not stem the tide of Andraste's cult, and was forced to do so to stay in power. We will never know for sure.
Interesting. That's what I have to say. Moving on. Moving on. Okay, what's going on? I think a lot of shit's going on. Caden said a lot of things. In the meantime, where were we? I think we're still alive now. Suppose. Sakura will kill Big Mom. No. Caden said, I don't think Big Mom would overcome Sakura healing factor, and Big Mom can't use life and death on. Yeah, we already read that. Caden said, in terms of raw strength, yeah, we already read that. Caden said, I still don't understand if Token wants female dwarves to have beards or not. And some of the stories have in those. No. Tolkien dwarves have beards. That's a fact. It's always been a fact. It always will be a fact. So I don't know what to do with people that don't understand it.
Yes? Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind? Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think. That's lovely, I suppose. No, that won't work. That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say. Yes? Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind? Where did you hear this? And you believe everything you hear? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
So Morgan's gift gave us hey, and hers fucked us over.
Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are. Nobles mostly. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You were about, weren't you?
I have revealed too much, it seems, but it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past.
Here,
I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry. And when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Okay.
Yes? Something you need? I don't think you have the correct aptitude. I could give you some pointers though. You may be able to pass them on to someone you know. Let's just go over there, away from the others. For safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time.
Alright, so I learned special edition
Yes?
word.
Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind? Yes? Something you need?
Okay, so apparently I fucked that up because I gave the wrong gift. So before we do anything else, before we fuck up anything else, I hit a little bit of a camp savory.
Yes? Something you need?
Now we will... Liliana...
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much. Why, thank you so much. Why, thank you so much.
That's super crazy.
Yes? Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind? Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think. Which one? It will come to you soon, I'm sure.
Well, I tried with that one. Alright, let's try to get Alistair.
What do you need? Ask away. Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells. Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together. Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templar's talents more effective, or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception.
You literally have Duncan's sword. You're looking pretty good.
What do you need? Ask away. I suppose I could. But I really would rather not. When the Grand Cleric let Duncan recruit me, she made me swear never to reveal Templar secrets outside of the Chantry. I'd rather not go back on my word. Ask me later, perhaps. Maybe I'll change my mind. This is not something small you're asking, after all. What do you need? Ask away. Such as they are. That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Great Wardens in other lands. Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in Neanderthals, 1,000 miles from here. But I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go. I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us. I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere.
So apparently we only have 2 Grey Wardens because reasons. Kane said excuse me. I still don't understand. I got to go. I have to get up early. Do some important things in the morning. Catch you next stream. Cool, Gaiden. See you back here next time.
Just left? You mean just left Ferelden? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need?
Alright, well, Caden's gone, so here's what it is at this point.
Ask away. Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you? Let's see. I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills. It's really for the best. I'm not exactly the Chantry type, if you haven't noticed. I don't think I would have made a very good Templar. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky. I don't know. Maybe. When he came looking for recruits, I just remember praying fervently to the Maker that he would pick me. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have. No, it's... I'm sorry. I shouldn't be. It's fine. He died a hero. They all did. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking. What do you need? Ask away. Such as they are. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need? Ask away. Did I say that? I meant the dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact. Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young.
Alright.
Even wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow. He put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respected the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough. Arleman eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10, just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me. I suppose you're right. I wasn't raised as the Arl's son, though, if you're picturing that. I slept in hay, out in the stables, not on silk sheets. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Isle came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming. Yes, I'm quite sure. At any rate, I don't look anything like him. You'll see for yourself. Not that it stopped the rumors any. All I know is that the Arl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Kaelin's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Well, alright then. We have a lot to talk about when we talk about that. So, by the way, Morgan and me,
What do you
like
need?
this.
Ask away. Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring. That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring. Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it. The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home? Right. Stupid of me to ask. I'm sorry. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way. I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now. What do you need? Ask away. Such as they are. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need?
Alrighty, now we get to the
Great. Super. Thanks.
apparently that was the wrong gift.
I could get used to this, you know.
So what we do is we go
I could get used to this, you know.
There you go.
Something on your mind? Of course. Sure, I could. I could even teach you, I suppose. Anyone who's been trained as a warrior. I guess if I'm going to give up Chantry secrets, I may as well go all the way. Send whoever you want trained to me in camp, and I'll see what I can do. Something on your mind? Of course. Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring. That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight. Pillow fights? I mean, no, of course not. I meant sword fights. With rusty swords, dripping with acid. The kind that puts hair on your chest. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring. Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. I felt like Al-Eamon had cast me off unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself.
So we already went through this, so I'm good with skipping it.
The education mostly, but also
Kane said I had to go.
in order to use the abilities we have. I never really felt at home anywhere though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home? Right. Stupid of me to ask. I'm sorry. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose you're right. We can... Anyhow.
Okay, we're gonna go eat something and be right back. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm tired of shit. But I want to get through all the conversations here at the camp so that we can move forward.
Something on your mind? Of course. Never what? Had a good pair of shoes? Oh, so that's what we're talking about. Well, if you really want to know, you tell me first. And apparently you have no shame as well. Well, all right, I'll play along. I myself never had the pleasure. Not that I haven't thought about it, of course. But, you know. Well, living in the Chantry is not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They raised me to be a gentleman. That's not so bad, is it? I've no urge to rush into anything. We may not even survive what is to come, after all. Enough. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's go. Something on your mind? Of course. Such as they are. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. Something on your mind? Of course. You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden?
There you go.
You know, I asked Duncan this too, and all I got was, "You'll see." Oh, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret, it's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving. I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare, then laugh themselves to tears.
Thought it was a joke?
More like an initiation. They all went through it too. Oh, and then there were the nightmares. Duncan said it was part of how we sense the Darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you call it, their group mind.
The taint.
When we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight.
Fair enough.
What was it for you?
Nightmares, yes, I know what you mean.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up saying though.
I like to think that the difference between the Darkspawn and Blood, like if you're a Herlock and you drink human, you know, this time has come.
Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age. You've got 30 years to live, give or take. The taint, it's a death sentence. Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
Why Orzammar?
You'll always find Darkspawn down where the dwarves are. The oldest Grey Wardens head to the deep roads for one last glorious battle. Not that there's a shortage of Darkspawn during a blight, but that's the tradition. The dwarves respect us for it. And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. There you have it. You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself. I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him. Ending the blight.
Will be
It's
remembered,
all
Alistair.
worthwhile, right? Something on your mind? Of course. I didn't know them for very long, but I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all, did you? They were quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know. There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfels. What was his name? Griever. He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen. And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table. Sometimes, we were kin of a sort. All of us had gone through the joining, so we knew... Well, anyhow, it doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time. Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly... Until... Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by, nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you. I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. That's just...
We can do return to Ostigard at any point.
I'm wondering something. I'd like to know your thoughts about some of our traveling companions. Do you mind if I ask? I've got this nefarious plan to go around to each of them and secretly tell them all the nasty things you said. That way they'll mutiny and I shall become the group leader. What? Lead? Me? No leading. Bad things happen when I lead. We get lost, people die, and the next thing you know I'm stranded somewhere without any pants. Seriously though, I'm only curious. I've had enough time to form my own opinions, and I just want to see if yours are any different.
Alright.
What about Sten? The way he looks at me with those eyes. Creepy. And he's so quiet for someone so big. The more I talk to him, the more reasonable he does seem. His philosophy is so strange. But it doesn't sound at all as vile as the Chantry describes it. And yet, he killed all those people. He doesn't even deny it. Doesn't that bother you? I don't know if I like the sound of that, but I guess I take your meaning. What about Liliana? Is she crazy? Or do you really believe in her vision? That's one way to put it. I noticed that you and her have become close. Am I right? The rest of us have talked about it. You think we have better things to do than gossip about you? You give us far too much credit. Is it true or not? Oh, liar. Suit yourself. I don't know what to make of her. If you look at her when she doesn't see you, she just looks so sad. I almost feel guilty taking her away from her life. True enough. Who'd have thought a sister would prove to be an adept thief and spy, eh? Morrigan, do you trust her? Think about it. Maybe Flemeth sent her with us for some other reason than she said. Well, aside from the fact that she's a complete and utter bitch, no, I don't like her at all. Why, do you? Great. So they were right. Well, it's your funeral. Enough. I think my curiosity is sated. Let's get back to it, shall we? Something on your mind? Of course. Such as they are. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. Something on your mind?
So we have a high level of, I believe, yeah, Alistair's at a good amount, Morgan's at a stupid amount, yeah, and then we have Liliana at right around. So we only need to worry about Stan.
Yes. Speak then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. Very well. Speak then. Then I suggest we move on.
Alright.
As you wish.
So Sten hates us. Like, at a stupid amount. So what we need to do with Sten is give him an abundance of gifts. So.
Do you expect me to carry this for you?
Okay, we don't like that. I should have saved beforehand. So I really don't like the fact, yeah.
Something on your mind? Of course. Such as they are. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. Something on your mind? Of course. Never what? Had a good pair of shoes? I'm not sure I do. Have I never... Oh, so that I myself never had... Well, living in the Chantry is enough. I don't... Something on your mind? Of course. You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden? You know, I'd slurp down every dinner. Oh, and when we sleep, everyone ends up the same. The taint. And you wondered why we kept... You know, I guess he got what he wanted. Something on your mind? Of course. I didn't know them. They were... We also laughed more than you think. And the man could drink. He drank all the time. Anyhow, I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all pass out. Yes, it just struck me that I have nothing to remember. I just would have... Well... I'm wondering something. I'd like to know your thoughts about some of our traveling companions. I've got this nefarious plan to go around to each of them and secretly tell them all the nasty things you said. That way they'll mutiny and I shall become the group leader. Ouch, now I'm wounded. Seriously though, I'm only curious. I've had enough time to form... What about Sten? The way he looks at me with those eyes. I know. And yet, he killed all those people. He doesn't even deny it. I don't know if I... What about Liliana? Is she crazy? Even the Chantry believes that most claims of vision That's one. I noticed that you and her have become close. Am I right? Oh? I don't know what to make of it. If you look at her when she doesn't see you,
Trying to get rid of all these,
so sad.
like,
I
goddamn.
almost feel guilty taking her
We
away.
already went through all this, and I'm just trying to, like, goddamn.
True enough. Who'd have thought Morrigan? Do you trust her? Think about it. Hello? Have you met her? I think she'd need a reason not to betray us. Well, there is. Just tell me one thing. Is it true what the others say? Do you have a thing going? You think we have better things to do all day than talk about you? Oh, someone's a little touchy, eh? Enough.
Okay, bam, save, boom, boom. Just so we're clear on everything.
Something on your mind? Of course. Such as they are. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Something on your mind?
Alright, so we have Stanton, who we need to bring to a stupidly high level, so why don't we do a little bit of
Unexpected. Thank you. Unexpected. Thank you. Unwise. Unwise.
huh.
I am impressed. My thanks.
Alright, cool. So now we can actually talk to Sten.
You are not quite as callow as I thought. That is unexpected. You sound surprised. You must have heard this before. You'll get over it. Eventually. I have wondered that myself. It is one of the many things I find puzzling about your behavior. What is there to be puzzled by? I'm a simple creature. I like swords. I follow orders. There's nothing else to know about me. I knew there had to be some reason I continued to travel with you. In any case, we should go now. I caged myself. A weak mind is a deadly foe, as you are no doubt aware. I told you before that I was sent here. I was not sent alone. I came to your lands with 7 of the Beresad, my brothers, to seek answers about the Blight. We made our way across the Ferelden countryside without incident, seeing nothing of the threat we were sent to observe. Until the night we camped by Lake Calenhad. They came from everywhere. The earth beneath our feet, the air above us. Our own shadows harbored the Darkspawn. I saw the last of the creatures cut down, too late. I fell. I am told no others survived. I don't know how long I lay on the battlefield among the dead, nor do I know how the farmers found me. I only know that when I woke, I was no longer among my brothers, and my sword was gone from my hand. Perhaps I searched for it, and when that failed, I asked my rescuers what had become of it. I killed them with my bare hands. I did. I knew they didn't have the blade. They had no reason to lie to me. I panicked. Unthinking, I struck them down. have no souls as we know them. Convenient for you. That sword was made for my hand alone. I have carried it from the day I was sent into the Beresad. I was to die wielding it for my people. Even if I could cross Ferelden and Tevinter unarmed and alone to bring my report to the Arishok, I would be slain on sight by the Antam. They would know me as soulless, a deserter. No soldier would cast aside his blade while he drew breath. If I knew where to look, it would be in my hand now. Near Lake Calenhad. Perhaps those words are empty, but thank you all the same.
Boom, baby.
You called. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Your farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are. What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell.
That's a fair point.
Meant by whom? And if that were indeed his purpose, why did that mysterious source of meaning not make him so to begin with?
Fair point. Fair point.
Destiny. Destiny is superstitious nonsense. Life is not a journey that ends with you arriving or not arriving at the proper destination. Life is what you do.
Fair point.
Life is the duties you fulfill.
Right.
You can learn to find it in doing your duty and serving your people. There is no need to search for it. Shall we move on? Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not your own. To see faces that are and aren't like yours. I miss the smells of Saharan. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs. There is interesting food here. You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Kunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly. Yes, we have no such things in our lands. This should be remedied.
This man wants cookies. Let's give him fucking cookies.
Move on. As you wish.
Let us give this fucking man cookies. This man, all he wants is some goddamn cookies. So in my mind, what I'm thinking is that we give him goddamn cookies.
Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
So the last minute shit. Alright. I'm not gonna use. Yeah, alright. You're telling me I killed this bitch and nothing? Nothing? Huh?
Do you see the tower? The view from the top must be spectacular.
You're not looking to get across to the tower, are you? Because I have strict orders not to let anyone pass. Oh, you're a Grey Warden, are you? Prove it. So I'm not good enough for you. Fine. See if you get into the tower on your own. Is that bad? Look, I'm just trying to do my job. I'll take you right now, just like you wanted. I'll just be here, just standing, waiting. Don't mind me.
Alright, cool. So we can go to the tower whenever we fucking so choose. Which is a proper thing. Proper
Can I
thing.
get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Spoiled princess.
All right.
You're the Grey Warden, aren't you? Exactly who I was hoping to meet. I represent a collective of mages interested in going about their lives without the constant scrutiny of the Chantry. We harm no one, I assure you, and we enforce the Chantry's laws among ourselves. All we seek is a life outside of the Templar's shadow. Next to me, and in every major settlement, you will find an inconspicuous sack containing requests from mages all over the land who need the assistance of someone skillful and discreet. Thank you, my friend. We have agents in every major settlement to reward you for work done on behalf of the collective. Make us smile upon you.
Alright, cool. So apparently the places of power. I'm gonna grab everything and just hope for the best.
Good day. Good day.
Good day, and welcome to the Spoiled Princess. Is there something I can get for you? It was my father's idea. He ran the inn before Princess... Well, my father died of shock and heartbreak. Of course. Welcome back to the Spoiled Princess. How may I serve you today? Of course. If there's anything I can get you, just let me know.
Leave me alone.
What are you looking at? Can a man drink in peace?
What business would the mighty Grey Wardens have with a man like me? Oh? What is this about? How sad it is to see a Grey Warden manipulated. But I have no time to straighten this out for you. Men, let's teach the Grey Warden a lesson about trust.
Defend yourself, and you shall pay! You should run while you can.
Bad day. Oh, hello. It's you again. Come to chat a little, have you? Come along, I suppose.
And now we go to the tower. Oh.
And I want 2 men stationed within sight of the doors at all times. Do not open the doors without my express consent. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. The doors are barred. Are they keeping people out or in?
Now we wait and pray. We're dealing with a very delicate situation. You must leave for your own safety. I am weary of the Grey Warden's ceaseless need for men to fight the Darkspawn, but it is their right. You'll find no allies here. The Templars can spare no men, and the mages are indisposed. I shall speak plainly. The tower is no longer under our control. Abominations and demons stalk the tower's halls. The circle is lost. tower has fallen. I have sent word to Denerim, calling for reinforcements and the right of annulment.
The mages are probably already dead. Any abominations remaining in there must be dealt with, no matter what.
This situation is dire. There is no alternative. Everything in the tower must be destroyed so it can be made safe again. If any are still alive, the Maker himself has shielded them. No one could have survived those monstrous creatures. It is too painful to hope for survivors and find nothing. And what was I to do? Leave the door open as the abominations poured out?
He's right. All the circles have doors like these to prevent abominations from getting loose.
Denerim must have received our message. It cannot be much longer. If, by some miracle, you destroy the abominations, yes, the Templars will join your army. Without word from Denerim, I must determine our course. Surely destroying Darkspawn is a worthy goal. A word of caution. Once you cross that threshold, there is no turning back. The great doors must remain barred. I will open them for no one until I have proof that it is safe. I will only believe it is over if the first enchanter stands before me and tells me it is so. If Irving has fallen, then the circle is lost and must be destroyed. May Andraste lend you her courage, whatever you decide.
Wow, okay, so yeah. That's a thing.
Maker, have mercy on me.
Yes? Something you need?
Maker, have mercy on me. I don't want to die.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Wait. I didn't intend. Never mind. Apparently we can't go backwards. I was hoping to let's see. Load game. No, alright. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. I'm gonna pee. We should have had more stuff going on between, but I didn't realize I was hitting Alright. So, even though we fucked up hard, we are still going to somehow some good things in the Tower of the Magi, which we should have done long ago. To be honest with you guys, we're gonna be ending this very, very soon.
Where your eyes linger, Alistair.
Yes, well, don't worry. It's not what you think.
I see.
I was looking at your nose.
And what is it about my nose that captivates you so?
I was just thinking that it looks exactly like your mother's.
I hate you so much. Never mind.
There we go. Alright. Let's win.
It's you. No, come no further. Grey Warden or no, I will strike you down where you stand. I am a mage of the Circle. More importantly, why are you here? The Templars would not let just anyone by. And you were told that the Circle was in no shape to help you, I suppose. So why did the Templars let you in? Do they plan to attack the tower now? They sent for it then. I feared they might have. What else could they do? So Gregor thinks the Circle is beyond hope. He probably assumes we are all dead. They abandoned us to our fate. But even trapped as we are, we have survived. If they invoke the right, however, we will not be able to stand against them. Let it suffice to say that we had something of a revolt on our hands, led by a mage named Eldred. When he returned from the battle at Ostagar, he tried to take over the Circle. As you can see, it didn't work out as he had planned. I don't know what became of Eldred, but I am certain all this is his doing. I will not lose the Circle to one man's pride and stupidity.
Oh, fine. So what do you intend?
I erected a barrier over the door leading to the rest of the tower, so nothing from inside could attack the children. You will not be able to enter the tower as long as the barrier holds, but I will dispel it if you join with me to save this Circle. True, we have little time. Once Gregor sees that we have made the tower safe, I trust he will tell his men to back down. He is not unreasonable. Then our path is laid out before us. We must save Irving.
You want us to assist this preachy schoolmistress to rescue these pathetic excuses for mages? They allow themselves to be corralled like cattle, mindless. Now their masters have chosen death for them, and I say, let them have it. If that was so, why, I'm sure I would have flung myself from the top of this tower years ago. I will allow neither mind nor body be subjugated in such a dehumanizing fashion. Have it your way.
Petra, Kenan, look after the others. I will be back soon.
Wynne, are you sure you're all right? You were so badly hurt earlier. Maybe I should come along.
The others need your protection more. I will be all right. Stay here with them. Keep them safe and calm. If you are ready, let us go end this.
Indeed.
Yes.
Blast it.
Indeed.
All right.
Here we are. I'm somewhat amazed at myself for having kept it in place this long. Be prepared for anything. I do not know what manner of beasts lurk beyond this barrier. Are you ready? All right. Be on your guard.
Apparently, should be ready for some craziness. This is where we enter the Fade, technically. So we defeated a bunch of demons and nothing actually happened.
All right.
There we go. So, not the cleanest way of doing anything, but... Alright, we have a level up, but we can't use it yet. That's fine.
I shall do it.
Oh, rags. Now you got new codex about pride. I said, yo. Yo, what's up, artist? How you doing, man? We're now in the second vault of the circle. And I feel like we are over our heads. Not to a stupid degree.
Please refrain from going into the stockroom. It is a mess and I've not been able to get it into a state fit to be seen. I was trying to tidy up, but there was little I could do. I tried to leave when things got quiet. That was when I encountered the barrier. Finding no other way out, I returned to work.
Oh, Wayne, you should have said something. I would have opened the door for you.
The stockroom is familiar. I prefer to be here.
He is one of the Tranquil. The Tranquil do not have emotions.
I would prefer not to die. I would prefer it if the tower returned to the way it was. Perhaps Niall will succeed and save us all. I do not know, but he came here with several others and took the litany of Adrala.
But that protects from mind domination. Is blood magic at work here?
I do not know.
Niall was in the meeting. He would know. Blood magic. I was afraid of this. We should find Niall. The litany will give us a fighting chance against any blood mages we encounter.
I wish you luck. Perhaps this will be over soon and things will return to the way they were. Goodbye.
Yes? Something you need?
Okay. Well, here's how I... Here's how I'm gonna do a few things. Which is going downhill.
Please, please don't kill me. No. No, please.
I mean, technically, we don't get anything from them. So...
Now we get our hands dirty. Begin the onslaught.
Well, we did things. The stuff. Be honest with you guys,
I'll get on it.
I don't know what we're doing.
It's your time to die. Oh, you are funny one, you are.
So, here's my problem. We're gonna call this the game. We're gonna call this something different. We're gonna call this. Yeah, sure. And here's the problem. Is that I've been playing this game, but for the last half hour, to 20 minutes to half hour, I haven't been enjoying the game. I've been doing a get to the next level, you know, get to the next area, get to the next, you know what I mean? I like playing Dragon Age. I do. I love Dragon Age. But I'm not enjoying it right now. I'm doing this for you, not for me. So what I'm going to do is instead, I'm going to table it. I'm going to call it what it is. I had a great time tonight. Don't get me wrong. Our conversations in the camp and all that fun jazz, fantastic. But I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to call it, and then I'm going to play this when I feel Like, I want to do the Magi Circle, when I want to do Lake Calenhad, when I want to do the quest in the Fade. Because right now, I'm not feeling like I want to do that. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, right now, I feel more about the editing experience, not the full-blown let's talk experience. So, anyways, that might make sense to some of you. It might make no sense to any of you. I don't know. But either way, we're 3 hours into a stream. Like, comment, and subscribe as always. Don't forget to like and comment and all the fun jazz. Don't forget to drink, as I always do. We'll see you beautiful people back here once again next time for more Dragon Age Origins. And hope you guys enjoyed. Bye bye.